Hey everyone, today I'm really excited to announce a brand new product which is sectional mocks. So without much further ado, let's kind of talk about how many mocks you get, what are these over here. So starting today, or actually starting yesterday, September 2nd, each one of you, if you have a brand new account, gets access to more than 50 sectional mocks. At least 15 in quant, verbal or data insights here, and that's something which is that number is going to increase as we add more and more questions. And the reason why you have so many is because we've been adding questions to our Scholarium platform, and now you actually have sectional mocks here. Now these sectional mocks are in addition to the full length mocks that you have on the platform, and this is something which I think is incredible. Why? Because the full length mocks have a very different database of questions than the sectional mocks. So as you take sectional mocks, you don't encroach on the full length mock database. So they're kind of mutually exclusive. In fact, when you take a full length mock, each full length mock is about 2.5x as many questions as are served in it. So the remaining questions come back to the sectional mock database, and so the number of sectional mocks, that number goes up as you take full length mocks overall. So again, that's an additional bonus. So why sectional mocks? Let's just talk about this. In what scenario would you use a sectional mock? There are many places in your overall study plan that you'd use a sectional mock. One of the first places would be if you want to do test readiness after cementing. So let's say you're done with CR cementing and RC cementing, and you want to really say, okay, what has my verbal ability improved to? Instead of taking a test readiness quiz, you can now take a sectional mock, because you have 15 of them, or potentially at least 10 available after you've done with all the cementing quizzes. Then you actually are able to gauge an estimate of your ability, and the insights that you get, and I'm going to demonstrate that, are incredible with regards to fine-tuning that over there. Okay. Now let's say you're studying quant after this, and you want to make sure you're done with verbal, you're studying quant, you want to make sure that you don't forget verbal. So this is a sectional mock is an excellent way to do an ability check during that maintenance mode. So the way you would go about doing this is, one, you would actually essentially just revise some of your questions, maybe revise your error log on a Sunday. That's what students typically do. Two, then you'd practice a few questions, the ones that you made mistakes on. So you'd really kind of create a custom quiz, so you are in that warm-up mode overall. And three, you take a sectional mock to make sure that you are within that same zone. And because you can compare your sectional scores across sectional mocks, you'd be able to really see, are you within the time zone? Are you within 2 points of what your prior best was? If you are, then that's phenomenal over there. So you now have a defined measure to make sure that you're maintaining that ability, or that ability check. The third thing is avoiding surprises during full length mock, or what we call as mock readiness, and that's something that I think is an incredible way, where before taking a full length mock, you can take a verbal, quant, and a DS sectional mock, and even before that, you kind of know that in a pristine environment, how much score can you expect in verbal, quant, and DI, and what are some of the rough edges. So before you take that full length mock, you can work on those rough edges there. So that way, that full length mock gives you a proper score over there. Okay. Now, sectional mocks are accurate enough that they give you a very precise scoring, and you could use them as a mock replacement as well. Let's say you're done with full length mocks, and especially if you are in that 675 or rather 605 to 695 kind of score range, instead of taking a full length mock, you can take a verbal, a quant, and a DI sectional mock, add those up, and get an estimate of what your mock score would be. As long as you maintain the breaks, you'd get a very close estimate of what your actual score would be. So in many ways, you are getting 15 additional full length mock tests as well. Okay, and because you can choose the section order in this case, so you kind of maintain that entire flexibility in there. Another use case which some of our students have been using them is as a diagnostic as well. So when you bought the course and you already know, okay, quant, this is where you are, you don't know where you are in DI or verbal, or verbal, this is where you don't know where you're in quant or verbal, and you don't want to waste a full length mock, you can take a sectional mock and really put in your score estimates, your ability estimates there in the PSP. So that way you have all 5 full length mocks available to you. So these are all the places you could use a sectional mock, and you have so many of them that you now have the flexibility. So with that, I'm going to show you a demo of a quant sectional mock here, and as we are in one of our students' accounts, let's kind of look at an estimate of our ability. You can really see, strong everywhere, barring advanced topics. So with that, I'm going to go into the attempts. I'm going to look at, she took this one sectional mock here. You can really see it says TR normal. Very soon, this will say sectional mock. But as you go into this, as you go into the quiz results screen, you're going to really see everything that I'm talking about here. So the first thing that you see in this case is the overall quant score estimate. You can really see that her current score estimate is 87, which is 94th percentile. This person started at a 78, so it's an incredible improvement over here. But she still has a couple of points to go. Okay, so that's great, but really good improvement, but within 2 points. So you are in the zone over there with regards to the sectional mock. Now, in terms of her strengths, you have your calculated ability scores, algebra and arithmetic, and the target ability scores, and clearly much more headroom in algebra than in arithmetic overall. So at a glance, you know where you are, and you know what you need to get to where that improvement, those 2 points, where would they come from, and that primarily would come from algebra and then from arithmetic. So now you also really see this over here, which is, okay, how are you done? And in some quizzes, you're going to see done at par, done below par, done above par. So at par means, as it says over there, if you're within those accuracies in medium and hard questions, based on what your target score needs to be, then you'd be at par over here, which is kind of 87 and 89, are very, very close in this case. So again, let's look at medium over here, and you can clearly see why algebra has a lower score estimate, because this student has made 2 mistakes in algebra. Out of 8 questions, this person has gotten 6 correct here. On the hard side of things, that person got just 1 question in algebra and 5 in arithmetic, and this person got 4 out of 5 correct here. Again, let's kind of look at this over here. You can see the enhanced view, the same enhanced view you would get on a mock screen, where you can really see, okay, if you spend excessive time on certain questions, how much excessive was it. In this case, this student spent 5 minutes and 4 seconds on this particular question, where the median time is 3:42. Here again, the median time is 3 minutes, and the student spent a minute and a half additional here. Again, over here, the student spent, did not spend enough time. First question got this wrong. They rushed through that particular question here. And so all of these insights are available in the sectional mock here as well. Now, let's kind of apply the filters here, and I'm going to, so these are what we have as data lens filtering. You can really look at this and say, okay, I want to look at just arithmetic and apply and close over here. And you can do this, and you can really see the 2 mistakes. I'm going to sort it, and you can really see 1 mistake in word problems, 1 mistake in advanced topics, both of them hard questions here. So, but other than that, really good performance in word problems and advanced topics. I can also do just algebra and apply over here. Again, I can just look at mistakes. 2 mistakes, both in medium questions here, we saw that. 1 in inequalities and 1 in quadratic equations. Again, this one did not spend enough time. This one, I can really see whether this person spent enough time or not. The median time is 2 minutes 34, but this person rushed through that. Again, and so that's something which clearly shows careless mistakes. So this is where you can drill down and really say these mistakes should not have happened, and this is not an ability issue. This is purely being careful, looking at one of those process skills, and making sure that you answer this question correctly. And this question, given this person's ability, should have been easy. I mean, 66% of the people got this right. This person got this wrong. So again, this is an example of a sectional mock here. This again gives you really excellent insights as to where you are and what should you do to get to your target ability score. You can see how much you've come along and where is it that you need to improve on. Same thing in verbal. It works the same way in verbal, works the same way in data insights as well. And you now have 15 in each section, or at least 10 after you're done with the required number of cementing quizzes. Let me know what do you think about this update. If this is something that you like to see, if there are features that you like to see in these sectional mocks, we will be happy to add those. We have a really phenomenal roadmap on sectional mocks, cementing quizzes, and actually full-length mocks with regards to AI, and you're going to see more and more of these enhancements coming in every couple of weeks or so. So with that, as I always say, happy learning.